Fun. And away we go. Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here, and what I got for you today is a review of the XT001A. Now, if you look at the XT001A, you'll see that its propellers are very well protected. The quadcopter itself is inside a cage, a roll cage. It's going to be very difficult for things to get in there, or if you're flying indoors, to bump things onto this quadcopter and have it hit those propellers. Again, if you look at it, you can see that this is really intended for indoor flying, but we're going to fly it outdoors because I'm Quadcopter 101. But again, it seems to be a basic quadcopter with a very good, well-designed control cage. The motor inside here, I believe, is a 350 milliampere hour battery. Let me pull it out just to confirm that for you, folks. It is 390 milliampere hour, it says on there. Unusual. Usually they say 380, 350s. This one's a 390 milliampere hour. But again, you could probably fit most size batteries in here, 300 to 400. Well, I wouldn't go 400 milliampere hour range, but maybe I would. That battery base seems pretty big. But, you know, down in the 300 to 350 should be no problem fitting in there. Looking at the controller itself, it is a basic controller, you know, with pitch, roll, or pitch and yaw, throttle, yaw, pitch, and roll. There are no trim buttons at all on this controller. So we're going to assume that the quadcopter trim is pretty well set based on the gyros at takeoff. So you're probably going to need to put this on a flat surface before takeoff, and we will here before taking off here. There are two control buttons on this thing. This is for rates and this is for flips. If you push into the sticks, there are no inputs, you know, for activating headless motor, things like that. But I'm going to try one thing before I take off here, and let's see if we can calibrate the gyros by moving the sticks left, right, up or down, or out, upward or inboard. So that's it. Again, very basic controller, very basic quadcopter that's very well protected. In a nutshell, that's what this quadcopter is. So let's plug in the battery, get it ready for flight, point it in the direction of Owen's Peak off in the distance, just on the off chance that there is a headless mode to this quadcopter. Turning on the transmitter. By the way, this transmitter takes 6 batteries, so it's very well powered. Okay, before takeoff, I got the motors going. I'm going to turn off the throttle, see what happens if there's any flyaway issues. 1001, 1002, no, the quadcopter shuts down, so there are no flyaway issues with the quadcopter. Can it be rebound? Yes, it can. Okay, let's take it off. And right now, you know, I can't trim it up, so you get more or less the trim from the flat surface you're on, and I was on dirt, so it wasn't very flat. This is the yaw rate in beginner's mode, or beginner's rate. Very good yaw. Let me land it again. And let the accelerometers reset. Okay, let's try a higher rate. Okay, this is intermediate. 2 beeps. Flies very well. Bringing it down. This is the yaw rate in intermediate. Is there an expert? Let's find out. No. Beginner, intermediate. Both beginner and intermediate have the same yaw rate, just much more pitch. Good flyer, even with that roll cage on there. Nice yaw. This is beginner funnels. Oh no, good flyer. I'm surprised, especially with the roll cage. So this would be good indoor flyer, but it's a good outdoor flyer. Going back to beginner rate. Again, letting you see what this quadcopter looks like. Nice and stable. By the way, I'm in full pitch right now. Again, that was based on the uneven surface I put it on when I took off. So when you want to, when you bind this quadcopter, put it on a flat surface. Okay, and I'm going back to intermediate now that that pitch becomes moot, as the intermediate pitch takes over and gives it a kick and a button and it moves. Good quadcopter. I haven't done flips. Good flipper. It does cheater flips. It gives itself some throttle before it flips. So that's good too. It's a good flipper. Very good flyer. Very good design. I like it. This gets a good Quadcopter 101 rating. Now, I suppose that roll cage could be taken off because it's attached by 4 little micro screws, but I wouldn't recommend it because it flies very well with the cage on there. So leave it on there to protect the screws, the propellers. Nice flyer. By the way, if you notice, again, I am flying in another green field here today, here in the desert. There are a lot of parks around this city, or the town of Ridgecrest, so I have a lot of choices to fly. And I'm surprised, you know, I don't see a lot of people flying at your local sports field, your local city park. They're available, you know, most of the city parks let you fly these tiny quadcopters. I don't know about the bigger ones, they probably have a fit about that, but you can fly a toy quadcopter at your city park, should be no problem. Now I like to fly early in the morning. If you look at my long shadow on the ground there, that's because there's less wind early in the morning. Good little flyer. Took my head off there. Let's see what range we got. Let's go out to the 300-foot marker. Can we make it out there and back? I'm close to it. I'm at the edge of the field. Coming back again. Good quadcopter. I like it. Do I still got flip power? Well, I still got flip power. That little battery in there, that 390, gives it a lot of power. A lot of flight control time too. Great flipper. Fun. And away we go. The XT001A. Lots of flight time on this thing. Yeah, this might be a winner, folks, for beginner flyers or indoor flyers. It's kind of zippy for beginners, to tell you the truth. It's not a docile flyer. I thought it would be super docile. Well, then again, I'm not in beginner rate. Let's go back to beginner rate. It's docile. Beginners can fly this. I'm sorry. Very docile flyer. Going back to intermediate, back to beginner. Yeah, look, I'm in full pitch. So yeah, I guess beginners would have no problem at all with this if you left it at beginner's rate. You know, don't expect this thing to move at beginner's rate. This thing is very docile in beginners. See, I'm at full control. And this thing doesn't hardly move in beginner's rate, so beginners should easily be able to fly this indoors. See, full control. But put it in beginner or expert rate and it moves. And there goes my battery. That's the flight time. And are the lights blinking? Yes, they are. So that's the XT001A. Neat little quadcopter. I like it. Hope you enjoyed this flight. Quadcopter 101, signing out.